Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a project for Lottie Loves Paper. So not a layout, a project, a Halloween banner full of fun Halloween stuff. I'm using the Pebbles Spooky collection today. So okay, I have a ton of ephemera left over from this Pebbles collection. So I thought I would make some home decor. I love Halloween. We have got like a million pumpkins and we just thought we would make fun Halloween things to go up in the house because there's not a lot else to do right now. So I had this banner that I made back in May for my husband's 40th birthday. So I have just taken off 5 of the pennants and rehashed. So you can see what I've done is I have put some pom-pom trim all the way around the outside of each one, and I've doubled it up, so I've got like orange and black on some, I've got black and white on the others, and then the middle one is pink and orange, so slightly alternative Halloween colours there, but you know, I fancied a bit of pink. And what I'm doing is, as well as having put the pom-poms around the outside, I've sewn those in place, by the way. I'm also putting a charm on the bottom right point of each pennant, and I had just bought a load of these cute little Halloween charms on a well-known auction site, and they were like £2 or something, and then there's like 30 of them, so there's loads and loads. I'll never be able to use them all, and I just realised I didn't have any split rings to attach them with, so that was silly. That needs to be my next purchase. So I had to go hunting through my very old stash, and I did manage to find some. They're actually by Tim Holtz. Good, like I think they were like for his configuration boxes. They're literally years old. And I also had these funky little Tassel Charms by Tim Holtz as well. So I attached one of those to every, with the charm to each one as well. So I've got these little tassels and little charms at the bottom right point of each one. Okay, so I made I made one off camera, which is the one that you can just about see top left, and then the next one in, the black one, I also kind of made off camera because when I started this project, I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. I wasn't sure if I was going to video it, but when I got to this point, I thought I may as well turn on my camera. But before that, I was really trying to figure out what to do. So the black one with the stars on, I have used my metal dies and run it through my Big Shot 3 times, so 3 different sized stars. And then I've made shaker pockets, so just on the other side I covered it in acetate, and then I created a wall of foam pads around each star, and I filled one with gold glitter, that's the big one, it's really chunky gold glitter, one with pink sequins, that's the bottom one, and then one with gold sequins at the top. So 3 different shaker pockets there, then sealed it on the back with some more black card, and yeah, that looks pretty awesome, even though it's slightly different to the other banners. It doesn't have so much ephemera on this one, but because obviously I have the stars, it really goes well and looks really cool. So moving on to the middle pennant now. So this is the only one that is orange and pink pom-poms. I thought I would wrap some black and white baker's twine around the whole banner. It fitted really well in between the pom-poms, so that was fine. So I'm literally just wrapped it round and then secured it on the back with some regular sellotape, and then I'm adding the word boo to the top. Now that is a chipboard piece left over from Create Paper Hey Pumpkin that I had last year, but I still have a few small bits remaining, so I thought I would incorporate those too. And I thought about using a cut file on that one, but with the ropes, the twine in the background, the cut file wasn't able to stand out against it, so I'm going to put that one on a different pennant instead. So for that one, I'm just kind of making a little trick-or-treat scene at the bottom, and I'm going to add trick-or-treat bags and some houses. I'm also going to hang a little pumpkin off of there, and I'm going to add a witch's broom, but we'll come back to that in a little while. So currently moving on to the next one. With this project, I really flitted between the different banners. I couldn't, I was like, I didn't take one and complete it and then move on to the next one. I did it all as a as a whole process. I did a bit on one, bit on another, like working out what bit should go on which one and how I wanted it to look overall. So yeah. Just kind of bear with me, I'm a bit all over the place doing this. I don't do things like this that often, so it's not quite as easy for me as just making a layout. I really have to put some thought into things like this. So on the black one I'm working on right now, I put a doily onto that black one, black and white one, they're all black. I put a doily on there first and folded it around the back before I put the pom-pom trim on and sewed it round. So that doily is just sitting there. It's a great kind of placeholder for something else. I've also put a silver spider's web on there. I cut that from silver glitter paper, and it's from Peartree Cut Files, that spiderweb. You can't see it too well against the white doily on the camera, but it is really, looks really, really beautiful in real life. For that black and white one, I tried to keep my embellishments just black and white. So I pulled out all of the elements from the Spoooky collection that were black and white and that worked well. So I've obviously got that the doily plus the spider's web in silver glitter. I've then added the word spooky. Now that is with a piece of ephemera from the Spoooky collection. I loved this one because it was all the letters were perforated, so you could pull them apart, and then I've obviously when I've arranged them, they're not perfectly straight. I've been able to higgledy-piggledy them, if that is such a term. I've also added a chipboard sticker that says October. That's from Hey Pumpkin. But the rest of the things on here, I believe, are from Pebbles Spoooky. I've got little vampire. He's not Frankenstein, is he? He's the vampire, a little vampire on the right. I've got a bat at the top. I've got a ghost to the left of the little October tag. I've got the word spooky, a label underneath it that says Happy Halloween. Added a potions bottle sticker above it, and then I've got the little bird, like a raven, to the left of the little label. So that's that one, pretty much complete. I've now jumped right back to the one with the star shakers, because I'd made these stars, I wasn't quite sure what else to go on here, because I didn't want to cover up my stars too much, because they look awesome, but they weren't standing out particularly well. So I've just grabbed my white pen and I'm going around the outside edges of each star with the white pen, and that makes the biggest difference. I can't tell you how much of a difference that made. I was so happy to have figured that out and to actually think to use my white pen, because most of the time it just sits in my pen pot and doesn't get used. So I was really pleased that I remembered to use it and that it worked really well. I then have to work out what I'm going to do with the rest. Still reluctant to cover up too much, and also not quite sure on colours. I've got pink as one of my sequin shakers, just because I felt that I wanted to bring in a bit of pink, but of course there is no pink in this collection, the Spoooky collection. So I just wasn't, when I was putting the bits on, I just wasn't feeling it. So I've put a witch on. She's got orange hair, and she has to go, I'm afraid. She just doesn't quite work out. So I've sat her there for a bit to test it out, but nope, she gets axed. I'm also right now cutting out some stars. They are from the crepe paper Hey Pumpkin. I had a small scrap of pattern paper left that had some stars on, so they were perfect, and I cut them out. And of course, because they're stars, they go really well with the star shakers, and also because they were black stars on a creamy or whitish or a lighter certainly paper, I cut them out with a border, and then of course they match the stars that are on the shakers. So I've got a star with effectively a white outline. So they were really small, and that worked really well. So I've just stuck those all over. I've raised them up on foam pads, and then I'm going to keep everything else fairly minimal as this kind of goes really, because of course these are totally loaded. So I'm just adding a monster bottom right. He's so super cute, and then I'm thinking that I've got a black cat as well over who just covers up slightly the gold glitter shaker. He is a chipboard and he's from Hey Pumpkin. Further to the left I've got a gold house with a black roof, again that is from Pebbles. Spooky, and above the cat's head I've put in like one of those candelabras, so that's all coming on quite well. I've also just added the black cat sticker over on the right hand side, and now I'm just working out what else I should add to this one, and I love that gold moon. That was a sticker from the Pebbles Spooky collection, and love how that looks. I've also got a moth as well, and that's just kind of finished it off really nicely. It brought the embellishments up to the top without being overpowering or covering up any majority part of my stars. I've just sprinkled over some tiny silver star sequins there by Spiegelmum, and I'm just sticking those in place. So I just wanted a light dusting of them all over the background. So I have just dotted those around, sprinkled them on, and then stuck them in place using glossy accents. So that one I think I can call done. I think that one is done as well. That's the one with the black and white one with the word spooky and the vampire. So I've just got these two to go. I was completely inspired by a lady called Shara Crane. I don't know if anyone follows her, but she makes, I think she's slightly mad. I absolutely love the projects that she makes, but my word, the work that goes into them is unbelievable, which is why I think she's slightly mad. But I love her. I think she's so great. She was on a design team with me for a short time, and I really admired her work when I was with her there, and I've continued to follow her ever since, and I really love some of the little bits and pieces she makes, even though most of them I would never make because they would take up way too much time. However, this Little Witch's broom is completely genius. I absolutely loved it as soon as I saw it. I didn't watch a process video or anything, but I figured out pretty easily how to do it. So I've taken a barbecue skewer and I've coloured it in black Sharpie. It's about 6 inches long, 5 inches long, something like that. It's not huge. And then I've taken a piece of pattern paper, and that is about 6 inches long. And I have fringed it with not with fringing scissors, with normal scissors. You could use fringing scissors. However, I kept my fringes quite wide, and then I stitched through each fringe so that I had a small amount of threads hanging off the end of the fringed pieces. I then put a piece of tape over it, and then I rolled it round my coloured in barbecue skewer, and that just creates the most fantastic, cutest ever little broomstick. Both my children, I've got 3 children, but the 2 older ones have both requested one each for their favourite toys, because they are seriously cute. I do think it's absolutely amazing. So thank you for the inspiration, Shara, if you are watching. I just couldn't help myself. I had to make one. So cute and so easy as well, really. Just a little bit of work putting into the sewing, into every, sewing through every fringed piece, yeah. Okay, so my broom is complete. I have a little witch to sit on it. So she was from the Pebbles Spooky collection. I think she's a sticker. Because she was a sticker, she was definitely a sticker. Because she was a sticker, I had to stick her onto a piece of card and cut around her to make her a bit more sturdy, because she's going to sit on top of my barbecue skewer. So she needed a bit of extra support. She was on a flying broom. She was flying on a broomstick, but I cut off her broomstick and I'm sitting her on mine. That's what I'm going to do there. I then had to work out how to attach my broomstick to my banner. I decided in the end to sew it on, just hand stitch it, loop round a few times in 3 different places. Could have attempted to stick it with glossy accents, or a hot glue gun would have worked really well, whenever I use a hot glue gun, I tend to make a bit of a mess. You can normally see blobs of glue, and because it was going to be on black, it was going to be really obvious. Same with glossy accents. There would definitely be some some, you know, seepage. So I thought sewing this on was the best course of action here. So that worked super duper well, no problem at all. I've just gone off to my sewing machine here to sew through the word boo. That's a chipboard sticker from Hey Pumpkin, but with all the baker's twine in the background, I was worried that that was just not going to stay even with extra adhesive, so I thought going through it with the sewing machine would be good. My sewing machine didn't like going through the chipboard and the cardstock as well as the baker's twine. It definitely struggled on a few points, but I just went slow and I eased the needle through by hand. You know, I rotated the wheel on the side of the machine by hand in order to get it through the tricky bits. So but that just means it won't go anywhere now, which is what I want. So now I'm happy with my title at the top and my witch sitting on top of that, or actually she's flying through the air. I'm now going to work out the rest of my banner. So like I said, I wanted a bit of a trick or treat scene, so I've added a bag that says trick or treat and that's going in the middle. And I'm adding some fussy cut houses either side of the treat bag. And then the little candy corn just under the boo, that is also is a piece of ephemera from Pebbles Spooky, and so cute, and was also flying on a broomstick. So I figured, as we have a witch flying on a broomstick, we could also add a candy corn flying on a broomstick. So I've just popped him on there as well. He's all dressed up for Halloween. He's wearing a witch's hat, he's on a broomstick, and he's got a trick-or-treat bucket with him as well. So how cool is that? I can't get over how cute this collection is, the Spooky collection. I just love it. I love all these houses. They are from a sheet from the Spooky collection. So I had one, I think was a sticker or a piece of ephemera, and then the others have all been fussy cut from that piece of paper. The trick-or-treat white bag in the middle is from the ephemera pack. And yeah, just getting all of those stuck in place using foam pads. Of course, I don't have a flat surface to stick them on because I have the baker's twine wrapped around that banner. So I used foam pads and made sure I kind of squeezed them in between the baker's twine areas, so they attached to the black cardstock rather than sitting on a piece of baker's twine. So that just made it a bit more sturdy. If the foam pad had gone onto the baker's twine, then that just means that it would not be quite so secure. So yeah, now I really love this little Halloween bucket. He's a pumpkin, and he's, I don't know if he's like a pumpkin. I think he's got a handle, so I think he's a bucket. I think he's a trick-or-treat bucket that you collect treats in. So I wanted to include him on this one, but I didn't have any room left. So I have dangled him off on right corner. So all of my pennants have charms bottom right corner, but this one has an extra one. I've just tied it through with some more baker's twine, the same baker's twine, and tied it onto another piece of the baker's twine that's already on there. So yeah, I have an extra little hanging dangly pumpkin bucket there. So that's very cute. That's the longest one. The other charms are not quite as long as that one, but he's the longest one. He's really cute. So that's my middle one. That's going in the middle. That's my feature. It's the only one with pink and orange pom-poms, and I have the broomstick on there as well, which of course is centerpiece because it is the cutest thing ever. Right, just adding some gems. So just silver rhinestone gems. They're not sticky back, so I'm having to attach them with glossy accents, but just finish off the gaps in the baker's twine and make and look really cute. So that's that one done. Okay, so the last one is the one that says scary. I've just covered it up there. I have not managed to film this one. I had to I couldn't film. So the final one, it just says scary at the top. That's a big title from the ephemera, and then I have the potions cut file by Peartree Cut Files, which I've cut in silver glitter again, and I've put that on there, and then I've added monsters, candy corns, a bat, a cauldron, worms, scary worms, a pumpkin, and a witch, and as well as a spider web top right. So you can just about see it there, and you'll see the close-up too. So that is my banner complete. I've got 5 pennants now, very loaded. So I'm just going through and adding some gold and white baker's twine back through all of the holes. holes. So I say this banner was originally a banner, so I'm just reusing the same baker's twine that I used. I took it all apart in order to put the pom-poms on, and so I'm just reusing that, poking it through. I'm going just in and out. It's really simple, and then I'm going to secure them, just make sure they're in the right place, so they're kind of in the middle of my long piece of baker's twine, and then I'm going to secure them on the back with tape, just so that they don't move, I don't slip and slide around when hanging up. Just literally using a piece of tape on the back, and that is it. So I could make my backs neater by sandwiching some black cardstock there, but I'm probably not going to. In fact, I haven't. Okay, so that is my banner complete. So there's the first 2 there, the second 3 there, and you'll be able to see now it hanging up on my stairs in my hallway. There it is there with our gazillions of pumpkins that we had so much fun carving. So here you go, a bit of Halloween decor there, something slightly different from me. You can see all the close-ups here of all the cute items. So there was so much ephemera from the Pebbles Spooky collection that I just had to use it. I couldn't just leave it. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this project. That was Nikki Rowland for Lottie Loves Paper.